Hello, everybody. Welcome
Hello.
back to Oscar Buzz. It is time for some BAFTA talk. We're
It is
doing this like
indeed. It is indeed.
at the last possible time.
We are
We're
indeed.
doing
Yes,
this at the
BAFTA
last possible
noms
time.
are tomorrow, quite early tomorrow, but
Yep,
still got to get the predictions out
literally,
there. Still got to get the predictions.
literally in 12 hours.
Indeed, indeed.
But we still wanted to get them out.
Yeah.
So it's time to talk about some BAFTA nominations. So we're doing some interesting things because we got to remember the jury. The jury does like the
Yes.
acting categories director, right? So we could see the jury doing some interesting stuff. We'll see how much this correlates. We'll see if they just completely do something weird in an acting category like Best
Yeah.
Actress
Which
last
they
year.
could, because they did it
They
last year,
could.
exactly. And they are the BAFTAs. They
Exactly.
are a bit notorious for doing some weird stuff. I think
Yep.
our predictions are fairly sort of in line with the Oscars, although there are a couple things here and there,
Yeah.
which I'm sure will be a little bit surprising, but that's all part of the fun
Yeah.
with this BAFTAs.
Absolutely. So we're just gonna get into it. Welcome to everybody who's watching live, and welcome to
Indeed.
everybody who's watching on the replay. So BAFTA nominations predictions time. We're gonna start with Best Picture. This is our lineup. Banshees of Inisherin, we got winning.
We do.
It looks pretty safe.
I think so. It's a British one there. It's probably got British show on lock, you'd imagine. It just feels right, like it's in Best Picture contention. I do think Everything Everywhere is a very strong number two. The BAFTAs could just go, no, we're going for Everything Everywhere. Like, I could totally see that happening. But either way, I do think those are the clear top two.
Yeah, and agree, these are scary.
Yes.
Elvis, they love Baz Luhrmann. I think that he's probably just gonna get this in. I also think that Elvis is just like a top 5 contenders at the Oscars anyway.
Yeah, and it did well on the long list, so I don't see why
Yep.
it wouldn't get in it. Like, it's got Tex, it's got Butler. Fine.
Tar makes sense. It feels like a BAFTA pick.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we have it getting in basically everywhere it needs.
Yeah, indeed. Like, it could. Like, Tar is not completely safe. As you can see, we are snubbing Top Gun. Maybe Top Gun does just still get in. I don't know if that. I think Tar just feels a bit more like a BAFTA thing than Top Gun ever has, really. So that's our thought process there.
Like, maybe we're just wrong here. Maybe we are just wrong, but like, I don't know. I don't know. It feels like Tar, and then we have All Quiet in. Now, there's every chance. I mean, House of Gucci got 13 BAFTA.
Exactly. We could just be wrong about this one. Yeah.
Yeah. There's every chance that All Quiet dismisses, but like the fact that it did get Best Film, like, I'm feeling pretty decent about it. Decent about it. I'll be honest.
It's got international. We're giving it a couple texts. It did really well in acting. I think that is the reason we have it really in film, like because of the acting. Like no one's going for all quiet acting, but they did.
Yep.
So I do think we're fairly fine with this. Things like the Fablemans.
We could just be overestimating the jury because the jury was the one who probably did the acting categories. So like,
and they did go for a very normal sort of Picture 5 last year, which is my only sort of worry. Like they didn't go for something like All Quiet. But we do have All Quiet in Picture now.
But the year before they did the Martanian.
Exactly.
So like, I have thought about this because we have this getting. We have this getting 2 acting nominations and screenplay. So
and that's why we've got it above like Fablemans, which
the problem is
everything on paper would suggest Living.
Yes. But I would have liked to see Living get on the director long list, though. That's the thing. And these bottom 3, they didn't get on the director long list.
Yeah.
So
I'd also have liked to have seen Living get something like costumes as well to go with it as a
costumes
package,
or even score
like, as well.
Living did miss a couple of key long lists, so that's why I have it out for now. But it's very possible. Aftersun, obviously,
it could just happen. It might happen. I'd love it, but
please, it has to get in here for me to consider it for the Oscars. If it doesn't get in here, I don't think it's happening. And so as of now, I have taken Aftersun out of my top 10, and it hurts.
Sadly, very much sadly.
If it gets in here, it's got a shot. If it gets in here,
I don't know. I just think it's a little too far. I do think it is just a little too far. Like just a bit more push.
Yeah.
If it could be getting into like editing, casting,
I think it
maybe, but I just don't see that happening really anymore. Unfortunately.
Agreed. But anyways, that's Best Picture. That is Among Us. Hello. So hello club. Okay. Director Daniels. Okay, I gotta expand out. Thomas decided to put 6 women at the bottom.
I did not. This was a collective decision. Sorry. This was a collective decision.
No, I only helped with the top 10. You did the rest.
It was an accident. Yes, it was an accident. So I only put Colbert above the five of them. You know, it's not like. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Daniels is winning. Daniels is winning, followed by McDonough. I do think Baz Luhrmann also gets in. I do think he is probably might have to be like the popular pick rather than a jury save. I don't know if he will be a jury save. I do think McDonough and Daniels, even if they're not in the top two, they will be jury saves no matter what. So
I think that Luhrmann can still be jury safe because the BAFTA loves him. Also agree. I hope Elvis doesn't make it either. But like, and like all the other movies are better. But
like,
unfortunately, yeah, I feel like it's kind of there.
Yeah.
I agree though. I think that 2 out of Daniels, McDonough, and Luhrmann are going to be top 2. I think 2 out of those 3 will be voted top 2. And I think Luhrmann can even be a jury save.
I still think he can be a jury save. Yeah. So, yeah. And then you look at like Todd Field, he's just probably in. Charlotte Wells, you'd hope like she's winning
that
debut.
Would make sense as a jury pick. Yeah,
exactly. It just feels like it makes sense. Park Chan-wook, I could see being replaced by someone like Sarah Polley if they want another female director in. Alice Diop as well could happen, although Sarah Mayer wasn't on the international long list. Therefore, I think that's a little more of a push. Edward Berger, I could see just because we have All Quiet in like picture and we're getting loads of text. The only worry is he's not really in the conversation. Same with Joseph Kosinski. Like they're sort of on the same.
They nominate women like pretty frequently here, though, so it feels weird to only have Charlotte. It feels weird to only have Charlotte.
I know the one I would take out is Park Chan-wook, but I know you want him in, so
I think that Park Chan-wook is happening, though. I think that like how like in what world does that not make sense? I guess.
No, it does. It does make sense. It does make sense.
Yeah. No, and Liam, I brought this up. Yeah, it could easily be this year's Hasaguchi. That's why we don't have it in like director. Like we aren't going that far.
No, although we do have it in a lot more text than we did have Hasaguchi in. So like I do think it is a stronger presence this award season than Hasaguchi.
Because like the thing is that All Quiet can get things like cinematography and editing and production design, whereas House of Gucci wasn't even close to those. No. I agree though. There's every possibility that it just did really well on the long list, but was never even in top 5 or top 6 for anything. So definitely possible. I do agree. It is a bit hard to ignore as far as predictions, but like I guess I wouldn't be entirely shocked if it just misses.
No, exactly.
Yeah. I agree that Saradosa could happen. I like they do nominate documentaries more, but it feels like they nominate docs more in tech categories. I don't know the stats director.
No, exactly. I mean, the bottom sort of 6, 7, you could put in really any order, and you'd be justified, really. So, yeah.
It's possible. It would be really fun.
Maybe. Yeah.
As far as anything else, like LSDF, Edward Berger, I guess could happen, but I don't think he's happening here. Kaczynski, I mean, he got DGA, so I don't know, but we don't even have that in picture, so I don't think so.
No.
Anybody else, I just really don't think is happening. I think we have a top 9 here. I think we have a 9.
Agreed.
So
honestly.
I kind of hope that they save Polly though. Like
they
I really
could be
hope
the place to do it.
Polly.
This is the place it will do it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's the only real chance now she's got. So unless she wins WGA, in which case her win in adapted might be a bit more locked, and she still gets her Oscar. But anyway,
actress. So Kate
it's
and Michelle and Danielle are who we're saying is top 3. There's every chance that Danielle misses top 3 though. I still think that
it's a jury save. Yeah, I still think it's a jury save. Because Emma Thompson, Leslie Manville, they're sort of on the same part. They're just sort of British picks, exactly.
Yeah. Because here's the thing. I don't think that Michelle Williams or Viola Davis is top 3, and I definitely don't think that they'd be jury saved.
No, I could see Michelle Williams being top 3. That is the only thing. I could see Michelle Williams being top 3. In which case, I do think, obviously, in which case you would get in. But I don't know. I do think the top 3 are more likely for it being Kate Blanchett, Michelle Yeoh, and Daniel Deadwyler. Because equally, I could see maybe someone like Anna Darmus being in that top 3, which would be weird, but I could potentially see it. I think it is more likely.
I also weirdly think Anna can be a jury save though, which is so strange. But like,
I think she's more likely to be a jury save, and maybe a little less likely to be a top 3. But either way, I still think she's more likely than Michelle Williams.
Agreed. Leslie Manville makes so much sense as a jury save. Like she makes so much sense as a BAFTA jury save. Like I don't know. I just don't think that they're gonna care about the Fabelmans or the Woman King. Like they
didn't seem to based on the long list. attention
I
they
just
got.
don't. I know we don't have Fablemans getting any nominations, which might seem like a little bit crazy. I just don't think that they're gonna care, and I don't think we have Woman King in for anything. Did we put in an attack? I can't remember.
I don't think we did, no, because they didn't get on the long list for any
Yeah,
text. That was his problem.
yeah, yeah. So like, I just don't think that they're gonna care about these two movies. Every chance that
No.
we're wrong. I don't know. I
Yeah,
just have this
I don't
suspicion.
know. I mean,
Minus
and you look
10
at the
just doesn't
BAFTA
happen.
actress long list, nomination list last year, and they
Yeah,
could do whatever the hell they want. Jessica Chastain could be in for all we know,
yeah.
but
But that's what I'm saying. Like
like,
Michelle and
I don't
Viola
know.
missing makes sense with kind of what they did last year.
Exactly,
So
exactly. So, I mean, I could see someone like Deadweiler missing, and like the only two I think are solidly in
yeah,
are Kate Blanchett and Michelle Yeoh, and
yeah.
that's where we're at with
I
actors who won
also
for a movie.
actually feel like pretty good about Emma Thompson. I actually kind of
It'd
feel
be
pretty
weird,
good about Emma Thompson.
to snub her since she
Yeah,
makes sense as sort of a top three aura. Jury save.
agreed. So yeah, but that's best actress, best actor. Farrell,
I think
I
Farrell was,
convinced Thomas to put Nye at number 2. Well, I didn't
but
actually
only if
convince
I
him. I
had.
just did it. Yeah,
Yeah, in
Brendan
agreement
Fraser
now.
at
I
number
could
3
put
above
Brendan
Austin
Fraser over
Butler.
Butler because Brendan Fraser is
Yeah,
above Butler at BAFTA. He
no,
is. He just is. I'm sorry,
we
but
have
anyway.
Elvis in Picture, Thomas. We have
But
Elvis
Brendan
in
Fraser
Picture.
just won Critics' Choice, and he's on his way to a
It
SAG
doesn't
win.
matter.
He's on
Austin
his way to
Butler's
a
winning the
SAG
SAG
win.
and the Oscar.
He's
No,
not winning
Austin
SAG.
Butler's
Brendan
winning
Fraser is winning
SAG
SAG.
and the
Brendan
Oscar.
Fraser
No,
is
he's not.
winning SAG.
Mm-mm.
Yes, he is.
Austin Butler's
Yes, he
winning it.
is. I said it all
Austin
along.
Butler's
Brendan
winning
Fraser
it.
is winning SAG. No,
Austin
no,
Butler's winning
no,
SAG and the Oscar.
no.
Anyways, Paul Mescal is number 5.
Yes, Paul Mescal is number 5. I think perfectly fine with that. I'm very solid on this top 5. I think anything
Yeah,
other than the top
that would
5,
be
if one of them gets dubbed, that'd be very
weird.
strange.
If one of
Yeah,
them that this is top 5 missed, that would be shocking. Because like I could see any of them being top 3 and the other two easily being jury safes. Like
yeah,
any combination.
100%.
So
100%.
I think the last jury save, I think it's between these 3.
Agreed. I
It's
think Tom
between
Cruise
these
is very
3.
unlikely for BAFTA. Daniel Kaluuya as well just seems too
Like
far out
Tom
of the
Cruise would have
conversation.
Tom Cruise would have to be top 3. There's no way
He
that
would
Tom
have to
Cruise
be,
would be a
and in
jury
which I
safe.
don't think he is. I fundamentally don't think he
Agreed.
is
I
that
don't
strong.
think
So
that he's top 3. I mean, we don't even have Top Gun in picture. So, as far as like we went with Daryl McCormick just because it makes sense as like the British thing because like they don't
yeah,
necessarily care if you're British, but they care if you're in a British movie. So I think
yeah,
McCormick makes sense. He's in the British film. So
yeah. Felix Camera, I could see sort of happen just because All Quiet we have it in picture.
yeah,
You could have got doing quite big things, like maybe Harry Dickinson as well. Harris, sorry.
Harry.
Yes, Harry. Same name pretty much.
Whoa,
Um,
Harry Dickinson sounds really bad if you slow down.
that's it. No, I can't be bothered to go into
Harry
that.
Dickinson. Anyways,
Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyway, Triangle Sadness, like it got into picture, so maybe. But I don't know. I just think Daryl Cormack makes the most sense. Daryl Cormack. So yeah.
Thomas doesn't like women.
Yeah, I
Thomas
ignored
doesn't.
that one. I ignored that one.
No, I got to bring that up.
We've got Charlotte Wells
Um,
in. We put Charlotte Wells in. Charlotte Wells is my favorite director of the year.
yes, we like. Also appreciate it. Hopefully, we haven't
Thank
scared
you.
you with Thomas's
No.
blatant sexism, placing all.
I shouldn't have
No,
added
no.
15. We should have stopped in the top 10.
I told you to stop at top 10. I mean, Harrisington. Yeah, that's very true. That's
Interesting.
very true.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I mean, the 3 are pretty interchangeable. I don't know. I just think we've got Emma Thompson in for good, like Chile Grande. It would make sense for like a double, like a co-lead, both getting in.
Yeah, I agree. Clea could happen though.
Kaluuya might even make a bit more sense than Cruise, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's like
I
a
don't
jury
really want to
save.
change the dog.
No, can't
so.
be bothered. Yeah.
Okay, supporting actors. We have Connie Winning. I think that Curtis is top 3. If she isn't top 3, I think the jury passes over her. But I think she is top 3. And I think either Dolly or Hong Chow is the third of the top 3. And then the other one will just get jury saved.
Yeah, here's the thing. I think it is either Angela Bassett or Jamie Lee Curtis. One of them is top 3. The other one's not getting in. And I just think Everything Everywhere All at Once, it's a much bigger deal of a film. I know Angela Bassett is winning. Like, we still have her winning. This has not changed a thing.
Yeah.
She is still winning supporting actress.
Wins
but it just doesn't really make sense for BAFTA, personally. So, I don't know. I just think Jamie Lee Curtis makes a bit more sense. And we have done that, so...
We've done plenty of times, and we're going to be doing another video probably in the coming weeks. hopefully in the coming weeks. I don't think I've told you about this, Thomas, but I've been talking with Jack. So another thing soon.
I
won't leak, but we're doing another thing soon together in like a week.
Nice.
Okay. Amy Lou Wood in for Living. This just makes a lot of sense as a jury save. I think they're gonna really like Living. Yeah.
Yep.
And then a little bit of a swing here. I went with Emma Thompson Roald Dahl's Matilda. I think that she's going to be double nominated. I think she gets 2 nominations, and here's why. I think that she has the supporting nomination for makeup, right? You get makeup.
She does.
And I think that makes a lot of sense. It's a very big performance. It's in a British movie. It's Emma Thompson. If anybody, you said before we started recording, if anybody's going to get doubled,
anyone's going to get doubled, it's going to be Emma Thompson. Exactly, yeah.
So, like, I think this makes a lot, like, who else? If we don't think it's Angela Bassett, like, if we don't think Angela Bassett,
that's the problem. That is a problem for me. Like, Carey Mulligan and Latonians, yes, they're both British, but they're both in American films that BAFTA doesn't seem to really care about. Janelle Monáe just seems too far gone from the conversation. My only worry is that maybe Jamie Lee Curtis could be in jury save. Like, I don't see Angela Bassett being that at all. Jamie Lee Curtis could be if they really like.
Top 3, and then Curtis does end up being a jury save.
Exactly. That is the only other sort of scenario that I could see that would take out someone like Emma Thompson. But I don't know. Either way, we think Jamie Lee Curtis will be the top 3, so that scenario is null and void, and we have Emma Thompson in.
Yep.
And I think that's a decent choice.
It's a very big performance. It's an iconic character. I think it makes a lot of sense.
Agreed.
Okay. And also, there's probably going to nominate Matilda a lot because Andrea Riseborough's in it, and we know everybody loves Andrea Riseborough all the time.
Exactly. If she was in there, if she was in for actress, she'd be an Oscar.
She'd be nominated everywhere.
Undoubtedly. Yeah.
And supporting actrors for Matilda. Yeah, no, she'd be double nominated.
Yes, yeah.
Just because. Yeah. No, yeah, you need to you need to get in contact with Andrea Riseborough's team.
Yeah, exactly.
Behind Janelle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Ke Huy Quan obviously winning. And then I just think this is like the most obvious top 3 of any of the acting categories.
Yeah. Because I think even if like Keegan's not top 3, which I do think he is 100% is, 100%. Like he's still being a jury save. Like he's 100% a jury save. So whatever happens, he's in.
Obviously top 3. Yeah.
I think so. The only other one that could be is maybe Eddie Redmayne. And now we talked about this pretty extensively beforehand. I would put Woody Harrelson in because we've got Triangle of Sadness for, spoiler alert, casting later. Triangle of Sadness got into picture. They did like the actors in it. Clearly, they did like Harry Dickinson. They did Dolly Bland. So
you did I just think
Harris Dickinson. So I don't know, and I just think Woody Harrelson feels right for a BAFTA thing, whereas Eddie Redmayne doesn't so much. But Eddie Redmayne could get top 3. Woody Harrelson does not have a hope in hell of that. So. I guess he does make a little bit more sense.
Which is why we decided to put Redmayne in, because I was on the train of I think Redmayne will get the last jury spot because, like, I just think he makes a bit more sense. It's a slightly bigger performance. He's in the movie for a lot longer. And it's also somebody who they've, like, nominated before and know. And, like, I know. I think it kind of makes sense. They did nominate The Good Nurse elsewhere, so they did actually care about the movie beyond him. So, like, I think it's... and Jack, okay, I think I have Redmayne in my 5. I have Redmayne in my 5 already.
I think he might just be the 5, yeah.
Because I don't think this is the Jared Leto or the Ben Affleck. I think that this
it doesn't seem to be. It seems to be more than that, yeah.
People care about the movie more. People didn't like The Little Things. People didn't like The Tender Bar. The Good Nurse has good reviews. And it has Netflix backing, and that is the most important factor. It doesn't it has Netflix backing. Netflix gets their actors, and they somehow managed to get Ana de Armas as like a potential top 5 contender for the Oscar nomination.
Exactly,
they are great at campaigning their actors. They got Adam Sandler into SAG. Okay,
they just
is fantastic at
God only knows I
their actors. They're fantastic at campaigning their actors. They're like Sony Pictures Classics. They're great at campaigning actors. So I think that Eddie Redmayne is in the last spot for the Oscar, and I have him getting in here. The other 2 jury saves just make sense. Ben
Whishaw, Michael, they just sort of make sense to the other jury saves. And then the other 3, I just think are a bit, I don't know, they just don't really make sense.
Pitt, Hanks, definitely. I will scream. I will scream if Hanks get in. Everything else, like Pitt, just doesn't really, like, I don't think he's top 3. too weird as a jury save. Albert's good. I don't know.
Could be a jury save, but I don't know. I think the other four
would be if they really want to go for All Quiet. And like I think they're going to go for All Quiet, but I don't think they're like really going to go for All Quiet.
No, exactly. So yeah.
I'm fine. I like this. I like where we're at with this.
Indeed.
Original. Thomas thinks Fablemans is getting in. I don't.
I just think this will be Oscar 5, really. Like they did Oscar 5 last year. They did just being Ricardo's. They did King Richard.
But it wasn't Oscar 5. But it wasn't Oscar 5 because
it didn't end up being. It didn't end up being Oscar 5. But they did what they thought the Oscar 5 would be. So like they don't always necessarily do the sort of cooler stuff. Like I'd much rather be Triangle of Sadness Aftersun. I just, for me personally, I do think it is the more obvious sort of thing, and I do think they go Banshees, Everything, Tar, Fablemans, and then for me, I've got Aftersun 5. Just I think it'd been more of a hit at BAFTA than Triangle of Sadness, clearly. So I don't know. I just think it makes a bit more sense to the Oscars as well. So that's my logic there. I'd put the Fablemans in, but you know,
I just don't.
We did what I wanted to do and adapted. So we made that.
Yes, which we'll get to in a second. Good luck to you, Leo Grande. Could be a weird thing. Decision to leave would be a stretch, but would love to see it happen because, like, I mean, goddamn, that's screenplay.
One of the best screens of the year. Yeah.
Elvis, the Menu, just don't really make sense.
No. Yeah, agreed.
So I think that I don't know. I think it's a pretty clear 6, and then like maybe a 7 and an 8. But I think it's a pretty clear 6. I'm just feel kind of good about the Fablemans getting nothing.
I think it might. Sense I just don't know if it completely gets blanked. I do think it gets one thing, and I think that one thing is in screenplay. Like I don't think Michelle Williams happens, as we said.
If it gets something, it will be here. If it gets something, it will be here. I just don't.
And I just personally think it does get something because it's Fablemans. Like it's a big film. It did decently enough. Like it didn't do great after long list in terms of
it got
numbers
5, which is terrible.
It's not good. It's not good. But it still appeared 5 times. So that's. Like I still think it's enough to not go completely blank, personally.
I don't know. I mean, Triangle and Aftersun got more, so I don't.
Well, yeah, but Fablemans is 3 for the Oscar. It's number 3 in original screenplay, so that's my only worry. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Okay, adapted where we did what Thomas wanted. I wanted to put in The Wonder over All Quiet because I think that they're going to do something a little bit weird here, and I think that The Wonder would make sense, but did All Quiet. Glass Onion, The Whale, Women Talking, and regrettably, we have Living at number 1.
Yeah, I'm not confident about something winning it. That's the problem with this category. There is no clear winner. Like, Living makes sense at BAFTA. We'll see what sort of WGA does, but I don't know.
As long as WGA does Women Talking, then it has 2. As long as WGA does Women Talking, it has 2. So that will be fine.
Yeah, but I do think the top 3 are fairly clearly in. Glass Onion, I could see missing it out the screenplay at BAFTA. Like, they don't need to go for it. If they do want to do All Quiet and something weirder, like The Wonder or The Quiet Girl. But yeah, I think All Quiet, I just think like it did well enough and the BAFTAs clearly liked it. And I know that has a good argument.
William agrees with me.
Yeah, but we ignored the Fablemans, so we're doing what I want to do. Which I would feel more confident about doing the Fablemans in original than All Quiet adapted, but you know, here we are.
I mean, fair. I would probably feel more confident about having The Wonder and than having both Aftersun and Triangle. But
do you want to just switch them then?
No,
because I'm very
okay.
I feel like we're gonna get both of these categories wrong now. Anyway,
but it's more fun this way.
So. Fine, whatever.
It's more fun to be stubborn. I do think that The Wonder could happen, though. I do think that The Wonder could happen.
I do think it can. That's why 6.
Never felt like a screenplay thing to me, and like The Wonder makes so much sense as a screenplay thing. It's a very righty movie. Very wordy movie. But, anyways, the other 4 just make sense as of now. Like we have The Quiet Girl, Top Gun Maverick doesn't make sense at all for. I guess they did Dune. I guess they did Dune.
They did do Dune, which we looked up before, and I don't know. Like I do think the Wonder, Quiet Girl, it would be one of them.
Narrative.
Top Gun just doesn't really make much sense. I would love to see The Quiet Girl in Simon Smith. I would love to see The Quiet Girl get in. It'd be my number 1 probably here, honestly. Or maybe Women Talking. I don't know. But either way, the bottom 3, I don't think the bottom 3 makes sense at all. I think it is that looking for the last place.
Also,
or last 2
places, I'd say. I will say, so we're going to do final Oscar nomination predictions probably over the weekend. But
sometime.
She Said is like pretty like dead. I think I just don't
I
feel good
agree.
about She Said happening at all. I just don't feel good about She Said happening at all.
No, honestly, I think the Oscar lineup is those top 4 plus like something like Top Gun. Weird, sadly.
Yeah, like
I think that's where we're at.
like nobody cares about She Said. Absolutely
No,
nobody cares
no
about
one
She
cares
Said.
about it.
So yeah.
No one cares about it.
Also, yeah, I might do a video on just my queer cinema course once it's all done because I think that would be fun. I had my first class yesterday. It was fun.
That's fun, yeah.
Okay. Moving on. Cinematography.
Cinematography.
Top Gun, I guess.
I guess
Jesus.
it's winning. Yeah.
I guess.
All quiet, sort of tech things, fine, whatever. Banshee's picture, cool.
I feel good about.
Yeah. Empire of Light, feel good about that as well. For like the Oscar, therefore.
They snubbed Deacons before, but like I feel good about Empire of Light and Elvis both getting an Oscar. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that just gets in there. Like I could see something like Athena being just chucked in. That feels like a BAFTA thing to do.
Choice. Like
And
Roman
it would
Gavras
feel like
directed
just
the
BAFTA,
hell out of that movie. Roman Gavras directed the hell out of that movie. It'd be such a good choice for cinematography. The screenplay's questionable, but like the cinematography and the directing and the editing, absolutely fantastic. And that could make sense as a BAFTA thing. I just don't like. Nobody's brought up this movie at all. So I just don't really think it's happening. But like, it'd be fun.
Yeah.
Tar, Babylon. I don't know. Still don't know how Amsterdam even got on this long list.
Like, I
know.
It's an
ugly looking movie. It's an ugly looking movie.
It is indeed. Tar could just happen as well. Like that also feels like a BAFTA
if they really
thing.
like Tar. If they really
like
Tar.
Exactly. But I don't know. I feel fairly comfortable with this top 5, honestly.
Yeah. Me too. Okay. Editing. Top Gun.
Yeah. Top Gun winning again here.
I mean,
I do think the top 3, fine.
Yeah.
We are solid.
The Oscar expert coined the term, the BAFTAs love racing movies.
Yes, and Top Gun is more of a racing movie than at least Everything Everywhere and Elvis. So
yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, and I have Elvis getting the Oscar nom.
Yeah.
I think that's just happening. I think it's more because ASC always goes like typically 4 out of 5. They haven't gone like 3 out of 5 since like 2006 and haven't gone below that like this century.
No,
so I think that if we're gonna go for 3. Yeah, if we're gonna go for 3, it would make sense for it to be Top Gun, Empire of Light, Elvis, in my opinion. Since Elvis is top 5 contender, Empire of Light is Deacons. Like Bardo,
and it's
not
seem to
so
miss.
Much less sense. Yeah,
they do.
Yeah. I mean, because Empire of Light also got Critics' Choice, so like I think Empire of Light's pretty in, and I just think that Elvis can happen because that was doing weirdly well with critics groups as well. So
yes, I remember.
Anyways, we have All Quiet just missing. Babylon is maybe a bit of a rogue pick, but like, I mean,
it's showy editing. That's the thing. Like, it's showy editing. I don't know how much crossover there is. Like, there is crossover between war and sound, like war films and sound. So, but not really as much editing, I don't think. So, I don't know. It just makes a bit more sense for Babylon. Like, Babylon did decently enough at text.
Showy.
So,
and I'm aware that Deacons missed for Unbroken Impressioners.
I just think, Empire of Light's more in at the Oscars. Yeah, and Empire of Light's more in at the Oscars. So.
And I don't even know if I'd say that. I just think it's that Deacon, like, Empire of Light is a British film. So, I think it's slightly more sense there. Slightly more sense.
Agreed.
Midnight's Daydream, I feel pretty good about, though, getting into editing.
I mean, they did Summer Soul, so yeah.
And they also did March of the Penguins as well. Like, they like nominating these types of movies here. Yeah. So I think that makes sense. Also, Midnight's Daydream, also incredibly showy editing. Some of the best editing I've seen of the year. It's absolutely fantastic. You got to watch it, Thomas. You got to watch it, even if you probably won't
once
like
it gets
it
released.
that much.
Once it gets released. I think it might be released already here. We'll see.
Yeah. All Quiet, Banshees could just be a random thing that they do, but I'm going for the showy stuff. I'm going for the showy stuff.
The last 3, I'd love all 3 of them to happen.
All 3 of 8 through 10 need to happen, but they won't.
I just don't know if they will. So it's unfortunate.
If we see Aftersun show up here,
that would be If we see Aftersun appear in editing, we might be able to get a little bit excited when
maybe
when Best Picture of the BAFTAs gets announced. We'll see.
Yeah. Could be fun. Okay, production design. I still think that Babylon's ahead here because they just didn't even put Black Panther on the long list.
No, they didn't.
But I think that Elvis is winning the Oscar as long as Babylon doesn't get a Best Picture nomination. Because if Babylon doesn't get a Best Picture nomination,
if Babylon gets, that's true actually. That is true.
If Babylon doesn't get a Best Picture nomination, I think it only wins one Oscar, and that would be score. And I think Elvis still makes a lot of sense for production design at the Oscars because it also is old Hollywood. It also does old Hollywood production design. So
especially if you're comparing, if you're sort of complementing that with costumes as well, which equally could be Black Panther, but we currently have Elvis there as well.
Could sweep production design, costumes, and makeup.
Yeah, exactly. Weirdly, like costume design and production design are all sort of between Babylon, Elvis, and Black Panther, which is like sort of weird race we've got going on there. But yeah, I do think Babylon wins out here. Elvis second, I'm fairly comfortable with the bottom three. I don't know. I think they just make sort of sense.
So I'm familiar with Rick Carter. I just don't think that The Fabelmans is going to get a nomination. Like I just don't. I don't
think it makes much sense in text, given how many sort of texts it missed out on, and like it missed Spielberg. So that I think is a sign that maybe they didn't love The Fabelmans clearly. Like yes, they got into picture, but I don't know if the technical elements will really be a favorite among BAFTA voters. And
I would rather just stick with and again, I wouldn't be shocked if Fabelmans end up production design, screenplay, sure. Like I would be shocked. I just don't. I don't know. I have this kind of just gut feeling that it's just not going to get a BAFTA nom.
Yeah, and like I could see Avatar being sort of taken out here. Like it didn't do great on the BAFTA long list, and something like Everything Everywhere All at Once or The Fabelmans could just jump in there again. I think we've got bottom three that just are not really that close at all. So
agreed.
Again, I think it's a top 7.
Yeah. How much do you think that we'll view it as VFX?
Well, that's a very good question. That is a very good question.
It's a great question, and I think we're going to see that here. Like, I think this is where we find out how much, because they obviously clearly didn't care about Avatar that much. So this will be a big test of whether Avatar is like in production design or not.
Yeah, like currently I'm thinking it is, so therefore.
Because if it gets into production design here, then we should definitely be predicting it for the Oscar. If it misses here, then maybe we raise a couple questions.
Yeah, agreed.
Costumes. We went a bit weird. So Elvis, we did. Mrs. Harris at number 2. I initially said Mrs. Harris at number 1, but
I swiftly shut that down. Yes, because Elvis is it's Elvis here. It's too weird to go Mrs. Harris. So
okay, sure, but Mrs. Harris and then Matilda the musical, they do some crazy stuff with the costumes. So like that just makes sense. I think that they're going to go for it in text. Babylon,
Black Panther. They're just sort of in. They're in at costumes at the Oscars. Like
no, Black Panther they could miss here. Like as mentioned before, Black Panther only got VFX before, and we don't even have it in for VFX, but I still think it gets a nomination, and I think it's one nomination is here.
Yeah, weirdly, Black Panther is both more of an Oscar contender than the first, and less of one. That is where we were at with sort of Black Panther, which is very strange. Yeah. But yes, Corsage indeed is my favorite costumes of the year. Should be getting in. I don't know. We just felt it might be a bit too wish stick thing to put it in over something like Black Panther, which undoubtedly is like number 2 for costumes of the Oscars.
And it might be number 1. It might be number 1.
Exactly. So but no, I'd love to see Corsage.
Corsage would be such a great choice. Like, it's that and Everything Ever All at Once are my 2 favorite costumes of the year. Like, I mean, and Vicky Krieps is so fantastic. She should have been long listed here.
She should have been. She really should have been.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic work. All Quiet, like it's mostly just war stuff. Same thing with like Banshees, like none of these really make that much sense, and I just don't see them going with a contemporary thing as far as Glass Onion. That would be deserving.
Agreed.
So Pearl, another great choice.
Pearl was a great choice, and the early one as well. Good costumes.
Yeah. Pearl would be my personal 5.
Potentially.
My personal 5 for costumes would probably look something like Corsage, Everything Everywhere, Pearl, Babylon, and I don't know what the last thing would be. Maybe Glass Onion.
Okay, interesting. I'm not even going to try and attempt to make that off the top of my head. So Corsage number 1. That's who you
on to hair and makeup. On to hair and makeup.
Elvis is just winning. Yeah,
the Whale, the Batman. All
solid
Quiet
top 3
makes sense here. Like it would be very deserving. They do a lot of great stuff with the makeup. And then again, I have Matilda in because it pairs with, if we're putting Emma Thompson in for the movie, it pairs with that. It makes sense. It's prosthetics. Like I was kind of surprised it didn't make the Oscar shortlist. I just think it came out too late with no campaiigning.
Potentially.
I think it's in.
Yes, Blonde could very much see happening. Yeah, Blonde.
Same thing with Amsterdam. They really
They did go for Amsterdam. A fair bit, yes. As I said, like, if they were expanded the director category even more, like to maybe 20, I mean, they already had 16, David O. Russell would have probably been in there. So,
It's kind of disgusting. And yeah, also, as Josie says in the chat, no X, which is gross.
No,
like,
yeah. Sad. I like, for some, like, emancipation. Like, really? Do we need emancipation in there?
Really? Why is emancipation both? I don't know. Anyways, yeah, that's last Black Panther. Probably not happening. Babylon, probably not happening. I think we have a top 7 here. I feel really good about the top 3.
I'd say top 8, maybe. I'd say top 8.
2 of the 4. No,
Babylon could. I don't know. I put it on the same level as something like Amsterdam.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, on the sound.
Nah, yeah.
Top Gun. Obviously.
I think Top Gun's winning, obviously.
All Quiet, Elvis makes sense.
I think, again, weirdly, we've got a top 3. We've got sort of a top 3, and then it's about those last 2 spots. Between 4 to 7. Or maybe 8 in this case as well, 13 lives. Potentially.
Wait, where did you get 8? 3
4
plus
to 8.
7 is 10. Oh,
yeah,
I thought you meant. Oh, okay, sorry. I thought you were talking about 7 overall. Never mind.
No, yes. Yeah. On different wavelengths there. Anyway.
You made me really question my math there for a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Batman and everything over Avatar. Like, we have Avatar getting snubbed. Very possible that still gets in, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel kind of good about everything everywhere and sound.
It makes sense for a BAFTA thing. It does make sense for a BAFTA thing.
Even for the Oscars. Yeah, Tar with Nope as well.
Nope. We miss Nope. Rest in peace, Nope. You deserve better.
Yep. And then, yeah, I don't know. 13 lives could easily happen here. I don't know. I like our 10, though. The only thing I'm really nervous about is Avatar. The only thing,
Avatar could just get in over every favor all at once. Like, I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
It is sort of an upset we are going for here with everything over Avatar, but I don't know. It's BAFTA. They do weird things. Like, it's not unreasonable to predict this.
Yeah, because Avatar also didn't get editing, whereas everything everywhere did. So
that's true. Exactly. Yeah.
Kind of where I'm leaning with that. Okay, VFX. Okay, Avatar's here. Like, come on.
Avatar's here.
Top Gun, everything everywhere.
It's just number 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic Beasts, they nominated the last 2. Don't know why they wouldn't nominate this one. And then I have All Quiet. I just think that they're going to ignore superhero stuff. BAFTA's been pretty against superhero stuff in the past, and I don't know why that would change now.
Like, I think they're especially just going to ignore MCU stuff. The Batman, maybe, because like, it's sort of
I feel good about our 4, though. I feel
not really as classed. Yeah, I do feel good about 4. Batman, not really classed as a superhero film in the way that films like Black Panther, Doctor Strange are. My only thing is, All Quiet was a big hit on long list. Like, it's gonna be a tech thing, so it makes a bit more sense over Batman.
The other thing is that, I mean, I think that the Oscars 5 is just swapping Fantastic Beasts out for either Batman or Black Panther. I feel pretty decent about All Quiet getting VFX at the Oscars.
Well, everything everywhere didn't get visual effects, so
you're correct. Two of the superhero things will get. Yeah.
3 and 4, and I think 6 and 7, and that's the Oscar 5. Just to switch.
Agreed. Okay. God, everything I ever missing. Okay, score. Babylon, Banshees, Women Talking Pinocchio, all makes sense. And then we went for All Quiet here. I could see Empire of Light happening.
Yeah, I think it could be Empire of Light, just sort of a bigger name attached to it, and it's a British film. Could just make sense. The Wonder won BAFTA. I did bring this up. I think The Wonder, there is a lot of potential that could happen. It's just sort of a weird BAFTA type thing to do.
People are saying the Batman. I just don't think that that's going to happen, though. I don't know.
It just doesn't. It hasn't picked up in score. I think it's one of the best scores of the year. I think Woman Talking, obviously, stuff like that is better than it. But I would probably have it my personal 5. And I do think there has been a fair amount of passion for it. It just hasn't really gone anywhere in terms of awards.
I mean, it didn't even make the Oscar shortlist. So,
exactly. Like, this passion never really amounted to, don't you think?
This is really possible. It would make sense as a BAFTA thing. I just don't entirely know if they're going to go for it, but I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked.
I don't know if Hildy can get 2 in a field of 5. Like, Critics' Choice said 6.
Right.
So.
Critics' Choice said 6. Yeah, I don't know. And, I can't wait for you to hear the Babylon score. Like, I cannot wait for you to hear it.
Well, literally about 3 days. Or 2 days. It comes out.
I'm seeing Babylon again in literally an hour. So,
yeah.
Okay. We don't even need to talk about the last 2. Animated.
No. This is just one of these.
So
is probably
obvious.
The easiest.
We don't even need to talk about it. Pinocchio, Puss in Boots, Marcel Turning Red. Obviously, moving on. International.
Indeed.
We went with this list.
We
We've been
did.
talking about it. We don't know if we could see Close slipping. We could see Close being the hero of the season.
Yeah, in the Oscars, by the way, just preface.
Yes.
Like, we don't have it in here, obviously.
Yeah, because our logic was All Quiet, Decision to Leave, obviously top 2. The Quiet Girl got director and screenplay. That's in. RRR is RRR.
You don't need to explain why that's in. Yeah.
Like, it would have got... It's sure this was its only long list, but, like, if Song was here, it would probably be winning. So, like, I don't know. I just think that there's enough passion for that movie. And then Corsage got director. It got director. So, I think that that's happening. It also just makes a lot of sense. It also got costumes, remember? So, like, I just think it makes a lot of sense as a BAFTA pick.
I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to see any of these top 5 slipping, which is why, even though Argentina 1985 won, like the Golden Globe, that felt like a very random thing. I don't know if that carried on. EO feels like maybe a BAFTA thing. As just like close. The problem is all these like bottom 5, except I'd argue Bardo, feel like BAFTA type things to do. However, the top 5 just seem to do well enough in the long list elsewhere, or have the name
it's just RRR.
So,
right. Yeah, for sure. So I feel pretty comfortable with this.
Indeed.
Doc,
we've done something interesting here.
The clear top 5 here is Fire of Love, Moon Age Daydream, All That Breathes, All That Being Bloodshed, and Novelty. I just don't think that they're going to go with the clear top 5, and I think that they're going to go with the British thing, which is why we've gone for a bunch of amateurs. It is the one that... Okay, Simon.
Yep.
Appreciate it. But no. So a bunch of amateurs.
It's quite good, actually, to be fair. But anyway.
A bunch of amateurs is like it is the most well received of these like British documentaries.
Yeah, like we think something's gonna be snubbed. I would argue All the Beauty and Bloodshed could be the other snub as well. They are the more sort of American centric things. Navani, All the Beauty and Bloodshed, obviously Navani. You know, it's about a Russian man, but it just feels like a sort of more American production, I guess, in a way.
Agreed.
So I think it will be one of those that gets snubbed. I do think there is a snub, and we looked at the letterbox ratings for them, and a bunch of amateurs came up front.
Obviously, the most clear,
indeed. But you've heard of a bunch of amateurs, so
yes. It's the only one that like I've heard of and like heard that it got like actually really well received. So I think it makes sense. We're going a bit against the grain here. We aren't going with the obvious choice, but like
no,
I think
they're BAFTA. They do weird stuff.
Yeah, I felt really confident that they would only do 4 of the like obvious 5, I guess, and we just kind of took a shot in the dark. But I think that this is
it's also important to mention we do have Fire of Love winning here. Like we don't have a winning at the Oscar, but it got director. I think that's all you really need, honestly.
Yep, agreed. Okay, and then oh god, what did I do?
What has happened there?
There are we back? There we
are
go.
back. We are back.
Casting. 1 second. It's gonna look weird again.
Okay.
Casting.
Cool.
The Banshees of Inisherin, Living, Matilda, a musical, and Elvis and Triangle of Sadness. So we didn't do Everything Everywhere because they rarely go for the SAG winner. Very rarely do they go for the SAG winner. So we snubbed Everything Everywhere. Again, maybe going for a bit of a snub.
Again, it's just a snub. Like, I could even see Banshees being the one that snubbed it, although Banshees we do have a winning picture. I do think whichever one wins picture, it would be, like, nominated here. And I think would win here, actually. So, but yeah, I mean, you look at the other ones we've given 2 acting awards. That's fine. It's British. It feels like it might happen. Roald Dahl's Matilda's musical as well. It's filling out the cast of British actors. That feels like that's what you have to do to get it into casting. Elvis, I could maybe see Elvis not being a thing.
But also they cast Austin Butler, which is seen as like one of like the best casting choices of the year. So.
And they even put Tom Hanks on the long list. So, you know, and Triangle of Sadness is an ensemble.
With a lot of British actors.
These sort of casting ones, they do tend to like that. And that's why I would argue Woody Harrelson is a supporting actor. But,
All Quiet, there's just not that many names attached to the cast. And then the other things like Tar and Aftersun, very small casts. And then the Fablemans, we just don't.
The Fablemans missed the supporting actor, boys. So, and I do think that's all you really need to point to. Like, yes, Michelle Williams could get in. I don't think that matters really for Fablemans.
Yeah. Okay, British debut. We went with the 5 that we know.
Yes, indeed.
Nothing compares we've heard of in passing. So that's number 6. And that was essentially our reasoning here. Aftersun's winning, the other 4 will probably just get nominated. I don't know.
Yeah, agreed. I think this is a fairly easy category. I mean, it's BAFTA. They could just go for some random stuff, but in which case, there's no point really trying to predict that.
Right. Okay.
This
And
is a
then
little more
lastly,
interesting than the British film. Yeah.
yeah. What is going on? I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay. So
there you go.
here's our top 10. So we have ended up snubbing See How They Run, Lost King, Lady Chatterley's Lover. So like, I don't know. Mrs. Harris, actress, costumes, right? Emily was very well received. Empire of Light,
the
we have gotten a couple
Bifer,
nubs.
yeah.
Blue Jean, very
Bifer
well
thing.
right?
Yeah.
Matilda, I don't know why I just put Matilda. The musical, we have getting a bunch of nominations. That just makes sense. The Wonder, I think, could be a strong threat, and there was a massive Bifa thing.
Yes.
Leo Grand,
yeah.
Bifa. Aftersun, obviously. Living, obviously. Banshees, obviously. This makes sense to me. I guess the other one could happen, but that's only British debut. Like Lost King, like I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that everything that we did makes sense. I feel pretty good about this 10.
I think the only thing that could contend it really is See How They Run. Like, I don't think The Lost King is going to really be a thing.
Yeah.
See How They Run, the problem is it does have a big sample. It is one of the bigger productions in that top 10. Like, just in terms
but
of
also, like, what's
release
it
and
gonna
stuff like
take
that.
out?
But
like, what's it gonna
exactly,
take out?
that's the problem. Like, I think the thing for me it would take out maybe is Mrs. Harris, but then we gave it actress. So
We gave it
I don't know. I'm comfortable with this 10.
Like,
we did give it costume as well. I'm comfortable with it. I'm comfortable with this 10.
Like,
I'd maybe
like
even shift
Emily
Aftersun above Living. That's the only thing I'd change about this. But that's a very negligible thing.
We have Living winning screenplay. We winning screenplay.
We do. To be fair, but yeah.
Okay. Anyways,
I think
those are predictions for the BAFTAs.
Predictions.
I'll go back through them. Anyway, wow. Okay. British film. Yay. Debut. Yay. This is our list for casting, our list for doc, our list for international, animated, original score, visual effects, sound, hair and makeup, costumes, production design, editing, cinematography, adapted screenplay, living, original screenplay, supporting actor, supporting actress, actor, actress, best director, and best film. So those are our trying to figure out how.
I mean, yeah, I would label it Irish, but the BAFTA put it on their long list for best British film. So what are you gonna do?
Well, McDunn is British, right?
Yeah. Is he? Yeah, I think so. Is. I don't know. It's complicated.
The harder thing is trying to figure out how House of Gucci was a British film last year. That's the real challenge.
I mean, that is probably exclusively Ridley Scott being British.
Right.
So
there's literally nothing else.
I do not know how House of Gucci was British, but anyway.
Anyways, those are our BAFTA predictions. We'll be doing nominations reactions. Those will be up tomorrow. Then we'll have Oscar nominations predictions over the weekend. Oscar nomination reaction on Tuesday. And plenty of other content. We're each working on a couple of different videos. As I mentioned, we're going to be doing another collaboration with Oscar Film Forecast shortly.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all. Thank you everybody for stopping by. It's always fun to do these live predictions with you all. It's always fun to hear your input.
Indeed.
But yeah. Thank you everybody for stopping by. And I'm going to go see Babylon and maybe do school. Anyways, thank you. Colonialism. Good note to end on.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for watching. We will see you all tomorrow for reactions. Until then, stay safe, everybody, and goodbye.